Veterans Park is a destination in the sense that what's represented in the park are events that had an impact on the nation.
It's such a beautiful park with the shade trees, and there's benches everywhere, and then there are memorials to honor every conflict, Purple Heart veterans, Medal of Honor recipients, and then obviously the police officer and fire memorials as well.
You just feel this immediate connection to the land, to the area, to the place.
That's a place of brotherhood and camaraderie, and it's like a spiritual place for us.
That means something to somebody. And that's what that park is. It means something to somebody.
Veterans Park is a microcosm of America. And it represents in 0.3 acres all the history, including the tragedies, the mistakes, the achievements of a great country. And so this park, in my mind, epitomizes America, a country that faces its mistakes and its history, but still moves on to make a better community.
We decided to put up a monument for the Purple Heart, which is the oldest award issued today to all American soldiers, male or female, that have been wounded or killed in combat. Most people, they do not know who the Military Order of the Purple Heart is because it's an exclusive club.
To have a monument like that is, I think it's pretty awesome. Even being in the military, you learn about a couple of women that were in the military or a couple of women that contributed to the military. There's still a lot of difficulties and we're still being added more and more to different missions, and that's very exciting. And when you start normalizing it with a monument where somebody goes and they see it, it's amazing when you get to see something that is a reflection of yourself. It's nice to think that little girls are gonna look at it and be like, oh, maybe I could do that. And then soon we might not be that minority within that community as more and more children, from men from young girls to young boys and from every walk of life are like, yeah, this is probably something I could do.
I love it. Will never be forgotten. To know that monument is going to be there for as long as there's a Veterans Park, it's very humbling. It's just, I drive by there now and then, and I just go there and I stop and I look at the monument sometimes when I need some fellowship and some brotherhood. I know I'm not alone.
It was designed to honor Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, specifically focusing on Florida Iraq and Afghanistan veterans that had been killed in action. We brought a group of people together, and some ideas were kind of thrown on the table, and the Global War on Terrorism Freedom Memorial was brought to life.
So our pieces are more the and recognition for these organizations. Back in about 2015, Platform Art approached the Polk County Veterans Council to talk to them about creating some memorials in the park for all first responders. We brought all of the partners together, representatives from each of those city departments, to sit down and talk about the content of the park and what was important to the park. So we came up with 3 themes: honor, sacrifice, and service. And we knew then that those would be the content that we could present to our artists and students to get involved in the project.
The monument was originally put in by the Polk County Fire Department's Union 3531, and it has the listings of the firefighters that were killed in line of duty. But more than that, we just wanted to be a monument to where you come, reflect, and not only memorialize them, but just to see all that's there in the park, to be part of it, and just to honor first responders. It's more of an honor monument than a memorial monument is how we wanted to look at it, but still pay our respects to those killed in line of duty.
Of course, the memorial is a very sacred place to police and really all our first responders. It certainly pays tribute to the officers that made the ultimate sacrifice throughout Polk County, but it also stands as kind of a monument of respect for all the other working police officers that continue to serve the entire county. You're always proud to see our fallen officers represented and the community show support for that, but it's certainly a stark reality to what this profession could hold any day that our men and women come to work.
The City of Lakeland, as a caretaker of public resources, should provide the services that we provide at Veterans Park, which honors our veterans and first responders as well. We have 3 city staff members who work in the park each week maintaining it. We have 3 volunteers that assist us with that on a weekly basis. And then our own Bill Cohen helps maintain the roses that are so beautifully displayed in Veterans Park. Lakeland is a respectful community, and as such, there's not a better park that we could provide for our citizens to go to be reverent and be respectful and celebrate those who have served in our military that are from our community and those who are related to members of our community.
As a younger veteran, as a veteran of OEF, OIF, which is Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom, I feel very connected with those people. And then when we watch movies or talk to people who were, in World War II, in Korea, in Vietnam, we all had very different experiences, and it's kind of heroicized, where I don't feel necessarily like my experience was in any way heroic. I feel like their experience was heroic, and so there's that wall between, the different wars. Because when you watch it from the outside, it's glorified, it's like I said, heroicized, and it feels separate. So when you get together and they're asking you questions about your experience, while you listen to their experience, you find places where you connect. You find places where you're similar. You find places where they're not quite so distant or separated by that wall of of time, I guess. So it's nice to get together. It's nice to have an opportunity to really, truly connect with other veterans in other wars.
And as you walk around Veterans Park and you can stop at the different monuments and you read the citations, I think we will all develop a greater understanding of the sacrifices that individuals have made for the betterment of our country. I think that it will provide a better understanding among the races, a better understanding among different ethnic groups, people of different backgrounds. People will have a better understanding of what it truly means to be an American.
It's extremely important because there were a little over 5,000 people, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines that have lost their life in Iraq and Afghanistan. So it's a place to honor their memory and to also let their parents know and their loved ones know that their memory and their service and sacrifice is never forgotten.
As a veterans, they will never forget. It is a traumatic experience in their life. They go in as a young man and come out as an old man. The youngsters coming from Iraq and Afghanistan, they kind of they stand back. They don't want to really belong to an organization, but eventually they will. Eventually they'll realize that that's the only thing they have in common with anybody is the veterans that they served with.
The scenery, the whole layout is kind of surreal to you as you walk through and you look at the different markers and you read the words and who it's honoring. It was just kind of special to me. I got a kind of warm feeling going through there. Even the part with the first responders that are there. It to me, it gave me a connection to all those people that, whether it was World War I or World War II, Korea, all of it.
There's a camaraderie among military personnel that we received that. It was sort of instilled in us when we went through our basic training to become a team, and as we develop a team, the team spirit that's so common among military personnel, it's the camaraderie that we understand that we are family, and that we all in this together. And wherever we go, as I travel around the nation, whenever I access a military base, I know that I'm with a family, and so there's a common understanding that we all have by serving in the military. It's second to none, and it's not anything that anybody can take away, and we're all proud of that. We are proud that we served our country, and we appreciate those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but we would have done that as well. That was our resolve, that we will protect our country at any cost.
The park itself, the overall park, is extremely important, I feel, to the entire city. I think it has great historical value. It's an opportunity for parents to take children to that park to show them what it takes to have a free America, to have a society that we live in, that we enjoy, that it does not come free, that there's a lot of sacrifice, and particularly the men and women that are represented throughout those memorials speaks to the sacrifice to keep this nation great.
It's a form of camaraderie. Veterans and veterans' families, you know, the veterans who never made it home, they still have families here, and it's a place where all these monuments are with their fellow brothers. So I was born up right across from a national monument, and I feel like everybody I looked up to were all veterans, combat veterans from W2, you know, and I went in because I wanted to know what that felt like. Unfortunately, now I do. I wouldn't change it, but I do.
The church I went to, in the back of the church, there was a listing of all those who belonged to that church who were in service. But I remembered those. My grandfather used to take me to the cemetery, and he would talk about those that died during World War II. You learn from the very beginning of what sort of patriotism was about, and how important their service was to the nation, and how people respected what they had done, and the cause for which they served. And those things, I think, have to be emphasized over and over to every succeeding generation. If we miss a generation, we can lose the republic, very simply. If a generation doesn't understand what the importance of the freedom that has been purchased for them in large part through the blood and sacrifice of others, then we can lose the republic. And this great experiment in self-government may be lost forever.
In 20 years, I want the Veterans Park to be on every fifth grader's field trip. Every fifth grade in Lakeland takes the kids to that park, and that's sort of the destination. That's what I want them to see. And they can start by going to the Confederate Monument. That was a tribute to when this county was first formed in 1861, all the way to the global war on terror of the younger veterans and everything in between. They can go and see the law enforcement memorial, where men have made the ultimate sacrifice. Same with the fire and fire rescue. So that's what I want to see.